Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my bullet journal setup video. So this one involves setting up my bullet journal, actually filling in pages and stuff like that. The previous one was about opening up the bullet journal, preparing it, and like the pre-planning, but this is going to be actually, putting in my key, for example. So you may have noticed that I have been absent on YouTube for the last couple of weeks. That is because I've been both sick and had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, some study related things, my engagement party, so everything was pretty full on. And although I did put messages on my Facebook page and my Instagram, obviously not everyone who watches me on YouTube is going to be following me on those platforms, so in case you didn't know, that's why I've been gone. But I should be back now with weekly uploads the usual time on Fridays, so hello, it's good to be back. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was, as you will see in this video, the lighting's not great. Apologies for the mega shadows. I had to film it in the evening, which is not optimal filming time for me. Okay, so what I'm doing here is setting up my key page. I like to do this on the first page. It might be a little bit cliche to have a drawing of a key on the key page, but I don't really care. I found this image of a key on Pinterest, and so I just sketched from that basically. I'm just adding some shading to the key as well. Okay, so for the writing, I'm going to be using my dip pen and just a simple black ink. So I'm using my dip pen both for the header, so the word key, and also for the rest of the text on the page as well. The different icons that I like to use for my bullet journal are the updated, like official bullet journal ones. So the dot for a task, the cross for a task complete, and so on and so forth, as you can see. I always forget which is a greater than and a less than sign. So anyway, the one that points to the right is for tasks that are migrated, and the one that points to the left is for tasks that are scheduled. A large circle is an event, dashes are for notes, stars are priority, inspiration is an exclamation point or a mark, depending on where you're from in the world, and I like to use a question mark for further research rather than one of those eye things, because it annoys me having to draw an eye. I also like to make a note down the bottom of the key of the number of squares the page is in height and width, because I always manage to forget that. Now that all of my ink and stuff is dry, I'm just rubbing out the pencil marks now. I'm using some coloured pencils to colour in the key. I use a few different colours to get the colour and like shading effect and stuff that I wanted. I wanted to go for sort of a tarnished look, so hopefully I managed to create that. I don't know. Okay, so now the key page is finished. The next thing that I'm going to be setting up is my yearly overview. Because I'm starting this bullet journal in November of 2016, Obviously I have 2 months left over for this year that I need to include in this Bujo, so I had to kind of rethink how I was going to do the yearly overview. Normally I would just do it on one page, but I had to obviously spread it out because there just wasn't going to be enough room otherwise. So for the initials of each day of the week, I am just ruling 2 lines. And the very laborious task of filling in all the numbers and making sure that I didn't make any mistakes, which I don't make too many, so I'm very thankful for that. I also wanted to include a week number as well, so I've just placed that to the left of the Monday column for each little calendar. This is really useful if you like to do things like scrapbooking by the week. I do a weekly scrapbooking type thing using Project Life app, and it really helps me to know what week number it is by just looking at my yearly overview. I wanted to distinguish the week numbers from the rest of the calendars because otherwise it can actually be a little bit confusing. So I'm just highlighting those with a grey pencil. I also wanted to colour in the top of each little calendar, so I decided to pick colours that I associate with the different seasons. So I associate spring with a nice bright green, so I'm doing green for spring from September to November, which is spring here in New Zealand and in the rest of the southern hemisphere, just in case you didn't know. So it's different from like North America, for example. So when it's winter in North America, it's summer in New Zealand. Apologies if you are offended by me mentioning that, it's just that I've had a lot of people who get a little bit confused about that. Either because they don't realise that I'm from New Zealand, which is in the southern hemisphere, or they're not sure where New Zealand is, or, you know, that's just something that they weren't aware of, which is totally fine. Summer, I decided to use a really bright yellow because sunshine. For autumn, I'm using brown, and for winter, I'm using blue. Very lightly. I'm putting this on very lightly because I wanted it to seem kind of snowy and icy. For my headers, I decided to do these little branch things with leaves on them. And then for writing in the years and all of the months, I am using my dip pen again. And so there you have it. This is the end of my bullet journal setup video. It's not as detailed as I'd hoped, and I really wanted to have more videos of me setting my new Bujo up, but for various reasons I just haven't been able to do that. Like, for example, it's been really hard for me to work on my bullet journal during a time of day that it's also okay to film during. I usually film in the morning because that has the best lighting. I use natural lighting to film because if I use lamps and stuff, it just looks awful, as you can see from this video. I just haven't had the time to work on it during the day over the last couple of weeks because I've just been so busy. So I'm really sorry that I don't have more footage of me actually doing the setting up stuff, but I will film a flip through for you once I've finished. That will probably happen in a couple of weeks time. I think next week I am planning on filming my December setup video, so that will be up for you next week. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being patient and still supporting me even though I haven't uploaded for a couple of weeks. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again really soon. Bye!